Good morning, John. In today's session, we will continue with our series of what they don't teach you at business school. We ended the last week with part 1, the leadership mindset for turbulent times. Today, we will be talking about how to focus on things that matters, ignore distractions, and manage your attention over what really counts when it comes to your business and personal success.
I'm still astonished after our last week's session, part 1, the leadership mindset for turbulent times. So I am looking to another great, unique session that leverages our understanding of how a business should work in a fast-moving and turbulent world.
Tell me, John, what is the glue that holds your business together?
I'll say that the glue that binds our people is never ending. As our company grows, the glue required to keep people together increases. So, I assume management is the glue that holds our business together. But there's another question for you. What does the glue that holds the business together mean to you?
To me, it means an executive that is trustworthy, is respected, and unites people with focus and clarity towards a common and shared vision and set of values. It means someone who successfully bonds all the different pieces of an organization, inspiring them together. This person becomes an indisputable leader, not only through hard work, but by fostering business understanding and continuously adjusting mental models all around his or her organization. This individual remains calm in difficult situations, accepts only facts, is never in denial, expresses a positive outlook, and identifies the best solution, which usually result in successful outcomes.
I'll say your description looks precise and complete. Nevertheless, it looks more an ideal description, a standard of greatness.
I agree, John. To reach greatness, you need to set a standard for being a leader for a fast-moving and turbulent times. And that is how I define it, the glue that holds a business together. True leadership is guiding others to success, ensuring that everyone is performing at the best and doing these things well. And the quality of a leader, John, is always reflected in the standards they set for themselves. That requires integrity, a steadfast adherence to the strict moral and ethical code of the written corporate values. In fact, it requires unquestionable integrity. Dwight Eisenhower, a 5-star general in the United States Army during World War II, once said of integrity, "Without it, no real success is possible, no matter whether it is on a section gangs, a football field, in an army, or in an office." Andrew Carnegie, a Scottish-American industrialist, often identified as one of the richest people in America, wrote, "No man will make a great leader who wants to do it all himself or get all the credit for doing it."
And leadership comes with consistency. I like the 2 quotes from Eisenhower and Carnegie. So, what tools do I need to become a great leader, the glue that successfully holds my business together in today's turbulent times?
To start down the path to success in fast-moving and turbulent times, you only need 3 assistants: the why, the what, and the how.
It's becoming more and more interesting. Carlos, can you expand on these 3 assistants?
Your business purpose is the why. Why do you want to accomplish it? Your corporate core values represent the what do you believe? And system thinking is the how. How do we do it? Look at the chart, John. I'm describing this key component, number 7, of your path to greatness in a fast-moving, complex world. Your purpose is the reason. The number 1 ardent, emotional reason for which your company exists. What will create in you and the reason why your company will be able to create sustainable, profitable growth in a complex world. Suppose that you don't have a business purpose and all the business wants is to make profits. There is no ardent emotional reason in that purpose to give a clue about how to do that.
It's true, Carlos. How can you succeed in navigating the complex and volatile world we face today, in which strategy is ever changing, if your people don't know why your company exists?
Exactly, John. Let's talk about corporate values now. Your core values are your business principles or standards of behavior. What is important and crucial for your business to thrive and continue to exist in a fast-moving competitive world. If your company doesn't have written values and live by them every day, your business will probably have a dysfunctional culture. Your people will have difficulty knowing what is right or wrong.
I'm starting to see why core values are important. They are like a compass. A compass is an instrument for finding direction. I imagine corporate core values are like a compass to find the direction that supports our purpose and strategy.
Correct, John. Let's talk now about systems thinking. Systems thinking is a management discipline that concerns itself with the understanding of a system by examining the linkages and interactions between the components of an ecosystem, which we defined in part 1 and which I will expand more deeply in part 3 of this series. Systems thinking lets you see and shape the unseen, to clearly see and understand what is going on in any business in its environment. So complex challenges become easy to understand, as do the interrelationships between the components, offering unique ways to formulate innovative business models and competitive strategies.
I'm excited to know more about systems thinking in part 3 of this series, Carlos.
Purpose, values, and systems thinking will help you continuously update your mental models and corporate behavior. Do you remember components 3 and 6 from part 1? Look at the chart again to understand how these different components are also the glue that will hold your company together. That is transformational leadership in action, John.
What do you mean by transformational leadership?
Transformational leadership is defined as a leadership approach that causes change in individuals. It creates valuable and positive change in your people with the end goal of developing followers into leaders for turbulent times, all around your organization. Transformational leadership is the primary reason for this series of mentoring sessions to understand the importance of certain traits and behaviors to inspire and motivate your people to rally around a common vision. And believe me, John, transformational leadership is an important factor in a small and mid-sized business and the corporate world too.
I clearly understand what you're saying, Carlos. I should recognize I'm not a person interested in values and purpose. For me, they are vague and theoretical concepts. I always thought that my behavior shows my people what I believed, and everyone knows that my purpose, growth, and profits are the only way to make my business sustainable. Nevertheless, I should also recognize that my mental models are changing a lot lately, being updated for a complex world. Your mentoring that's associated with powerful concepts such as systems thinking and thinking processes has a favorable impact on the way we conduct business right now. I also understand now why you created this series of What They Don't Teach You at Business School, an unprecedented inventory of practical ideas and tools for a complex world. By the way, I also understand why you advised me to subscribe 25 people, including me, to your e-learning program. It's the only way I can achieve transformational leadership in a short time. When key people are updating their mental models simultaneously through our own business school, hosted in your learning management system, a company of our size would never be able to do so much in so little time.
Thanks, John. I appreciate your comments very much. In fact, that is the result of the purpose and values I created at Carlos Diaz and Associates. My legacy, I'm 75 years old, is transmitting my knowledge and business understanding to companies like yours, staying committed and looking toward success in a fast-moving and complex world. I'm like you. I was an engineer early in my career. I became a salesman, then a marketing guy, then a strategist, before becoming the CEO of various multinational European companies. After an early retirement, I decided to transfer all my experience and thinking processes to doing business in a complex world. Truthfully, I'm doing what I love to do, and I do a lot of research, which my clients don't have the time to do.
I now have a way to see what purpose, values, and system thinking can do for my business. However, Carlos, what about vision? How do you expect me to create a vision for my business when we're facing a complex and super competitive world?
Why do you need a compelling and shared vision for your business? Because a vision identifies direction and purpose. It's an idealized picture of your future, 3 to 5 years into the road. Consequently, John, envisioning the future is the first step in strategic planning, a step which most companies fail to do.
Why?
Because organizations of any size need to know where they are heading, envisioning answers to 2 key questions. What is possible for you to accomplish, and what business you will decide to be in? If you answer these questions properly, you are on the right path to designing a powerful competitive strategy. You only need to apply system thinking to do it, and I will show you and your people how to do it. If you don't have a written, committed, and shared vision, like most businesses today, it will be difficult for you to attract the right talent. And without a clear, compelling, and shared vision, an organization lacks a basis for prioritizing their strategic decisions. Dysfunctionality and chaos becomes the norm.
I understand, Carlos. If we don't know where we're going, we'll end up someplace else. But that is the reason why we set short-term goals. They are much more valuable than a long-term vision in a complex world.
Unfortunately, John, anyone who cherishes a beautiful vision, a lofty, realizable ideal, not a dream, will one day realize it. Why? Because a shared and committed vision attracts talented people. It comes from the heart, so it has taste and flavor. A goal is insipid. It lacks a strong flavor, so it doesn't excite, and it could be boring because it's coming from the mind. A vision creates passion. Look at component number 8 on the screen, John. The greatest need in a complex and turbulent world such as today, John, is to clean out the enormous mass of mental and emotional rubbish that clutters our minds. So a vision will let you achieve balance through the combined conscious states of the heart and mind, John.
And how do you think I should create our business vision?
It should be a shared, committed, and irresistible vision, John. Your business without vision in a complex world is akin to a ship without a rudder, in danger of drifting from one direction to another. The problem is your executives get stuck on the how. They don't see how they could accomplish more. So, they prefer to ignore visioning, wrongly convinced they must be realistic.
Carlos, there are thousands of books written about how to, theoretically, create a vision for your business, but I never found one introducing a practical process. Only a lot of content, no substance. Why do you think most companies are against creating a vision for their business?
Well, John, I have great news for you. I have created two powerful and proven step-by-step processes to create first your company's values, then another one to craft a committed and shared business vision. The links are at the end of this presentation.
Fantastic, Carlos. I'm excited to first watch your processes, then to introduce them to my company.
Answering to your question, why most CEOs are against creating a vision for their companies. Most executives are tacticians, operational driven. So a vision means dreaming for them. And they say, we don't have time for dreaming in a complex world. Thus, they prefer goals. They ignore the facts. A vision is the soul of a strategy, and goals alone have no power to move our blood. By the way, John, goals are often forced by management. When that happens, the goals are not compelling and are never completely shared. Consequently, people are not fully committed to reach this goal set.
You're right, Carlos. In fact, every business has a vision in one way or another. The only difference is to know whether it is a compelling and shared vision that is designed consciously and that is taking them to where they want, not to where they are told they must go.
In part 3, John, of this series, particularly in component number 9, I will expand and go deeper about the key role played by a vision and how it is connected to a strategy in a business model.
I'm excited and look forward to it, Carlos.
Let's talk now about component number 8, passion, which I didn't talk too much yet.
What does passion mean? What does passion mean to you?
Passion is a powerful emotion or feeling, as love and hate. Thus, passion, a positive emotion, moves into action. Like it or not, emotions drive the decision that you make.
Now I understand why you always express a committed and shared vision.
Correct, John. A complex and turbulent world creates fear, making people afraid and making executives worry that something bad could happen to them and their companies. Fear originates from any kind of threats to your self-esteem, spirit, or business and personal life. It's what I love to call the trilogy of fear, hope, and despair complacency.
What does that mean? I feel like discovering a new powerful concept. I'm curious. Tell me more. How does this trilogy relate to a vision?
Understanding the trilogy of fear, hope, and despair complacency is the fundamental reason why a committed and shared vision becomes indispensable to thriving in a fast-moving, complex, and turbulent time. The trilogy explains why companies without it become vulnerable. Let's see how the trilogy works in turbulent times such as today. First, fear. Everyone is afraid of failure, afraid of something bad happening. If you experiment any kind of unsuccessful event, becomes a huge blow to your self-esteem. Self-esteem causes panic, not only fear, but anxiety too, and increased likelihood of depression. Do you think you or your people can manage effectively under these conditions? Second, hope. Everyone wants something good to happen and loves to think it could happen. Wishful and magical thinkers included. Third, the inseparable duo. Complacency, despair. There is no room for complacency in the new complex and competitive world. However, most executives, including CEOs, are complacent. They have the feeling of being satisfied with how things are. Despite the fact most companies are unable to create sustainable, profitable growth. That is why management start to despair, no longer having any hope, for example, that the economy will favorably change. Do you think you or your people can manage effectively under these conditions?
You convinced me. So, Carlos, how does the trilogy work?
Here we go, John. Hope without fear changes to complacency. Do you agree?
I do, Carlos. This feeling of complacency, of being satisfied with how things are and not wanting to get out of the comfort zone, is the primary reason why management at companies such as BlackBerry and Nokia wanted to decline and are no longer market leaders.
By the same token, the absence of hope will turn the fear into despair, since desire bears only on what we consider possible to reach in the near future. Do you agree?
I do, Carlos. So many executives live within unhappy circumstances, low growth, and incertitude in their future. Yet these CEOs, because they have not created a written purpose, will not take the initiative to change their situation because they are conditioned to live a life of security, conformity, and conservatism, all of which may appear to give one peace of mind. However, nothing is more dangerous for the man than a secure future.
Think about it, John. What happens when management has a clear and powerful purpose, lives with their corporate values every day, and instill passion in everything they do, to gradually making their vision becoming a reality?
Management gradually acquires a higher self-esteem, inspired by what I learned in this session today. Management should be driven by their purpose, the why, the number one emotional reason for which their company exists. This creates excitement and a desire to reach greatness and sustainable, profitable growth. Driven by their core values, clear business principles, and standards of behavior that are well known to everyone, and driven by a committed and shared powerful and irresistible vision of the future, a roadmap that will, at any moment, tell us where we are and what to do to get to our destination. Finally, Carlos, I understand systems thinking is of the most important pieces because without clarity and focus, the best plans for purpose, values, and irresistible vision are worthless.
Exactly, John. You clearly understand the best path to reach greatness for your business, your people, and yourself, John. Always remember, passion is like gasoline for an automobile. Without it, the wheels can't work. Values are akin to a compass for finding direction. Your vision is like a GPS. Follow your passion, John. Follow your purpose, your core values, your vision. Apply systems thinking all around your organization. And I promise you, you will find the mother lode, the richest principal vein of an ore or mineral. That is how you will find millions of dollars you never knew your organization had.
It's like a puzzle, Carlos. Everything falls into place. Awareness, which I learned in part 1, purpose, values, and vision from part 2, and systems thinking, which I'm excited to learn in part 3. Thanks, Carlos.
You are very welcome. Most importantly, John, on the next slide, you will find the links to share parts 1 and part 2 with your people. You will also find the links to the step-by-step processes to create your corporate values and a committed and shared vision.
Thanks, Carlos. I'm also looking forward to listening to these recorded sessions many times and making it mandatory for everyone on my team to do the same.
Here is a suggestion to you, John. Why not periodically organize a meeting with your staff and managers in which you can exchange ideas and comments on how the different topics in our series can be introduced into your company's culture. That is how you can create momentum in your business, John. Momentum is the force that keeps a business moving in the right or wrong direction.
You know, Carlos, everything you're transferring to me, to my company, for sure, they don't teach at the business school. Thanks, Carlos.